by definition, a trigger is any kind of thing which activates another. Or any kind of thing which sets in motion a series of events. Now, it does stand to reason that a person afflicted by this problem should avoid every single kind of such triggers, so they don't fall into the cycle of indulging in the pornography itself. In theory, it sounds really good, but as it is often the case, there is a distance between the world of theories and the actual practice, the reality of things. So the afflicted needs to avoid the triggers. That means they need to avoid all sorts of pornographic material and any source which it may come from. Then they also need to avoid any kind of images and any kind of sounds which imply a direction towards pornography. That also includes words. Any kind of thing which can start the series of events which ultimately end in the person making the decision to satisfy the urge by getting access to some kind of pornography. So that means no pornographic sites if the person is on the internet. So they need to avoid all of those. Then they need to avoid pornographic television channels. They would need to do something about any kind of movie where there is some kind of pornography in it, even if it's mild pornography. Then they need to do something about pornographic TV commercials. For example, a lady eating an ice cream, that can be turned into a pornographic trigger by the mind, because when the mind sees the lady eating the ice cream, it will try to make an association between what the eyes are looking at in the present with what the eyes have looked at in the past, in the pornographic past. So that in itself is a trigger. If a person holds a banana in a certain type of way, well, that's another trigger. Oranges become breasts. So oranges then are another kind of trigger. Anything with a hole in it becomes a a woman's private part. That's another kind of trigger. Anything cylindrical will seem to be like a man's private part. Even the word of the man's private part itself is a trigger. Do you see what I'm getting at?